任爆30分鐘。
Good evening tonight and welcome of course to the 30 Minutes in Heaven couch. I'm here of course with my two lovely co-anchors. My name is Perry and I am joined by
Iona
and Cassie.
Oh, wonderful ladies. And we're here today to talk about something very deep and meaningful. It's something very dear to us. And Iona, can you please tell everyone what that is?
We are going to be talking about love and dating, preferably in Hong Kong.
Ooh, preferably. International
yeah.
girl. So, of course, the way we're going to start off the show is we're going to give each other just something nice and new that neither of us know about. So, Cassie, what's something new you've learned about love?
So I've been doing research.
Oh, have you?
I have. I've been
Learned how to use the Google machine?
I'm working on it. I did go to a library and just looked at a few books.
Okay, this is not the ground to be lying, but yes.
Shh. So my fact is that in ancient Greece, you know how we wear an engagement ring? Not that I'd know, but apparently in ancient Greece, they did believe that there was an artery that ran all the way from your ring finger to your heart.
Excellent. Now, of course, the ancient Greeks did believe in some really weird things.
Anal sex?
Anal sex for one, yes, of course.
Lovely.
And Aphrodite was born of some things that I'm not going to discuss on radio. Look it up, kids. It's a little bit rude. Now, Iona, speaking of kids, tell us, what have you learnt this week?
Oh, well, I have learnt that apparently you fall in love at least 7 times before you get married.
Before you get married. Interesting.
I believe it's more. I fall in love with someone new every week.
Cassie, you fall in love
I'd
with a
say it's
minibus
less.
driver if he stops for you.
Oh, no. If he
You go,
smiles
"Oh,
at me
so
and I go, oh, and I dream about future together.
Ooh, a future with a
skipping down.
minibus driver.
I think I'd make a good minibus driver's wife.
Oh, God, I can see that in my
Minibus,
head.
what would that entail? Just sitting there screeching at him?
Yeah, what?
Wait, what?
Well, mine's a little bit cleaner. Mine is, of course, that historically, sweat has been used in perfume. It's said to be a bit of an aphrodisiac. How am I doing, guys?
Certainly not mine.
I'm so turned on all of a
It's
sudden.
all right. I wore deodorant, so it's just my
glad.
good looks that are getting you.
Gross.
Of course. Which now brings us on to the crux of the argument. Love and dating in Hong Kong. Girls, are you single?
Single?
Single.
Single, ready to mingle?
Yeah.
Does it make you tingle?
And you're in a relationship.
I am in a
so-
relationship, boys.
But
It's all
this
right.
means you've
Sorry about
technically won dating.
I've won.
You've won the dating
Oh my
game.
goodness.
You could put it like that, or you could just be like, you're sad and your life's over.
I don't know how I feel about either of those. Oh, that sort of hurts a little bit. But, do you know, like, I find it interesting because I know that dating in Hong Kong is a little bit different now that we're in the modern era. We have the Facebook,
The Facebook.
Twitter,
The Twitter.
these things. How do you guys date in Hong Kong? Cassie, you're a bit of a genius about these things, aren't you?
I'm obsessed. I don't know if you guys know this dating app, Tinder.
Tinder.
I know Tinder.
Do you mean timber?
Not it's
What?
going down.
Oh my god, I'm so old. I was thinking of like woodsman being like timber. I was thinking maybe it was an analogy for your standards
Yes.
slowly falling. But
Well,
like,
Cassie standards. Let's not talk
Yeah,
about that.
let's not talk about my standards. They're not great.
goodness, let's just say the woodsman analogies do not suit. But for the listeners back home that don't know what Tinder is, do you want to give them a bit of a run through?
Yes, folks. Okay, so Tinder basically is an app. I'm learning the technology.
Oh, okay.
So it's an app, and it's really easy to use. It's sort of. It sounds like we're an ad for it. It's Tinder, please sponsor me.
Yeah.
And like,
Here if you're listening.
Biggest
I'm
fan.
on it a lot. So it's an app, and you've got a few pictures. Each person has a few pictures, and you swipe left or you swipe right. And doing that, then if you match, then you can chat to each other. Or in my case,
Okay.
I get sexually harassed a lot. being
Interesting,
Sit on my face.
But
That escalated quickly.
no, how did that happen?
That's the kind of messages I get.
But I'm interested because, you know, when you're dating, you go into a bar, you scan a room, and there's a variety of people. And of course, you know, what you need to think about when you're in a bar is what's my type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you get to pick your own type in Tinder?
Well, okay, so Perry was messing with my Tinder account, and you can actually change ages, right? And what did you do, Perry?
I may or may not have set it to the highest and oldest settings.
I was getting very confused. I was like, why are there only old men showing up? It's not really my thing. I mean, I could
Really?
probably.
I like the old men.
She likes old men.
Well, I know. Should we start calling you Lolita or something?
Yeah,
that was
she
a
looks
little
so
bit
young and she
into-
likes such old guys.
Oh God, this
Interesting.
sounds like pedophilic. But
If you haven't heard of Lolita,
yeah, I've heard of Lolita.
Not the Lolita fashion trend, darling.
I know that Which is not a good trend, let's just clarify.
Oh God.
It's
Okay,
not on
anyway,
the hit list.
back to dating.
Back to dating, of course. Now, before you got onto the Lolita issue that we'll talk about later. Have you tried Tinder?
I have. I've tried it several times. I think
Several.
I've just got it back recently, yeah.
Oh, mine.
She
How
keeps
was it?
deleting it, and I keep convincing her to get it back.
You
'cause I
didn't
want someone to
convince me
play
last
with.
time. I did it of my own accord. Thank you very much.
She does do things now. She's grown up. She's no longer the people's child. She's a teenager. She's getting moody.
Yeah, look at her not doing that. Yeah. So, what are your experiences with my beloved Tinder?
Well, the first time I got it, there was a lot of really hot expat guys on it.
Oh, yes.
I'm finding recently it has gone very downhill in terms of good-looking guys on there.
Interesting.
I don't like good-looking guys though. I like.
You don't like? Is
I
that
like
because-
funny guys.
So you're saying a boy can't be funny and good looking?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
No, you can have one or the other. One or the
Gentlemen?
other.
There's also that thing about guys that are better looking are worse in bed.
Oh, they are definitely worse in bed.
Really?
Have you
And
ever slept with
why-
a male model? Just want to look at themselves in the mirror all the time.
But don't you guys want to as well? I mean,
What? I mean,
Why wouldn't you?
I want to look at myself in the mirror.
well, I'm pretty sure it's Ashton Kutcher, if I'm not mistaken, had a mirror installed on the top of his above his
I've
bed.
been to a hotel
some
like
guys
that.
have that.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit
That's,
weird?
I would find that.
I
really
would
weird.
wake up and be startled because I just see this other face looking back at me.
I once spent a very enjoyable evening with a man whose entire wall was mirrors.
Was his name Ashton?
It was not. No. It
Was
not.
Demi Moore sitting in the corner being
Did he have like a
"Don't feed
rotating
me."
bed?
No, oh my God, can you imagine? It's like you like hit the settings.
Am I in the
much.
Playboy Mansion right
Yeah,
now?
that'd be
Oh my
great.
God, no. Well, I only he's 80 years old now.
Yeah,
so Hugh
that's
Hefner might be up your
he's
thing.
got- my type.
he's got a chance on you.
Goodness. Okay, so we've deviated a little bit from Hong Kong, but thought we'd bring it back for a second to talk about l'amour and what it's like to date. See, I'm a bit of a dinosaur. My boyfriend and I go to IKEA to have salmon. And that's, baby, I love you, but that was a bit of a weird date. It's okay. So
Captain Awesome.
the meatballs have horse in them.
Oh,
Ooh.
I love a bit of horse meat.
Do you?
Yeah, ooh, I was
you do.
fed horse meat as a child. Horse meat baby food.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we've gone from Lolita to obvious child abuse. Now, I know you're going to hate me bringing this up, but I know you had a really horrible date the other month, a couple of months
Couple
ago.
months ago, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
You're going to have PTSD.
I mean, she's like reliving it in her brain.
No,
and
it
crying.
did put me off dating a little bit though. It was awkward. It was on a particular day.
Particular day.
Which day was this? It was Valentine's Day.
Oh, rookie mistake.
Oh, hell
rookie
no.
mistake.
Hell no.
So I think I did tell you not to go because it was
I
Valentine's
was
Day.
trying to tell myself not to go. I didn't want to go.
You didn't want to, you were forced?
Well, he was persistent. Let's put it that way.
Pretty sure that's illegal.
Yeah, again. Lolita.
He was persistent, so I went. He was at the top of the mid-levels escalator,
Ooh, romantic.
holding a rose.
Ooh, a rose for a rose, my darling. I hope you said that in a really creepy voice as well, like a rose for a rose.
for a rose.
Yes, but
goodness.
anyway, moving on. He took me to a bar where
Okay.
all his colleagues were going to be.
So, Irene, I feel like there's a point to this story. And I feel like an archaeologist. We're like digging out.
Digging
We've just found the
information.
top, and I'm getting the toothbrush out and doing the delicate parts. So,
Yeah.
what happened at the bar?
Well, yeah, his colleagues were there, like trying to they were banker wankers, as we
Oh,
like to call
fucking
them.
banker wankers, man.
The worst.
Yeah.
What?
Again, baby, I love you. I know you're a banker. So
Oh,
Don't worry about them.
Seb, we still love you.
we still love you. No, them, just me.
I
So how old is this gentleman? Just curious.
He was about the same age as me, like maybe 1-2 years older.
So he's 9 years old. Ooh, but seriously.
Yes,
check that
She's about 9.
but anyway, like it was quite awkward. We didn't have much in common at all. He was Australian. Sorry, Perry.
No, wait, so you didn't have anything in common with him at all. He's 9 years old. And he's Australian. Why
And a
did you go on a
bank
date
wanker.
with him?
Because I didn't know him. It was like a blind date. He was a family friend of my best friend back in the UK, and she was like, "No, he's really hot. You must go on this date with him." Yeah.
Still digging.
Still digging for the end of the
Still
story.
digging.
Well, yes. Anyway, and so no, when the bill came, I'd had a couple of drinks.
Excellent.
Nothing extravagant. And
It's unlike you.
Did you have an alcoholic drink?
I did. And so yeah, the bill comes.
Did they not check your ID?
It's play school.
Yeah.
You're in a sippy cup.
It's like an apple juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nap time.
And yeah, usually when it comes to guys paying for bills and stuff, I like them to pay, but I like a bit of a fight because I'm just a really argumentative person.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
Fight to the death. Oh my god. Is it on trend?
They're on trend.
Bar.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, do you want me to pay? And he was just like,
And we need to add the detail that this guy was talking about how his company paid for everything. All
Really?
night. He was like, oh yeah, I could use my expense account. Like, they'll pay for whatever I want.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
and then so I ended up paying the bill on Valentine's Day.
Really?
Yeah.
And then he's
Did he apologise for it, or was it like an awkward moment where they put the bill down and he goes, oh no, not for me?
Yeah. I just like sat there
Take
quietly.
it,
Like
take
that's
it.
what I do on dates. I sit there and I go,
You just sit there and blink.
yeah, well,
Why are you
I
good
like-
at that?
Yeah, you're good at sitting there and blinking. What were you
I know,
thinking?
it's my hidden, well, it's not even a
None of your hidden talent. I didn't think
Is
so.
just
it
my
a
talent.
talent or is it lack of talent?
Yeah.
Excelling. I love you.
I'm lacking in many
Look at
talents.
those little cheeks.
Look at the baby.
Look at that.
We love her so much.
If I ever had a toddler, they'd have nap time on those things.
I can be your toddler.
Oh God.
I can be your everything.
Would you be my hero, Enrique? Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
Do you get a lot of people pinching your cheeks, like when you're on the
All the
MTR?
fucking time.
Do you think it's Chinese people
We
like your
pinch
cheeks
our
better?
cheeks all the time.
Yeah, but we're her friends and we like to abuse her in a loving
It's
way.
usually Greek men, actually.
Greek men.
When I
Blame
go to
the
Greece
Greeks.
on holiday,
What? Which cheek were they pinching? That's
Oh, we know how Greek
I was
men are.
9, Perry. I should hope
Exactly.
it's someone
So last month.
So, yeah, how was your trip last month? But in all seriousness, do you think the Chinese boys like you a bit more because you got these cute little chubby
Well,
cheeks?
they like me because I'm very pale.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's better than
They like-
nothing, I suppose.
Yeah.
They like this.
They
Get
like
on
the,
this,
they
boys.
like the white skin.
Well, Cassie,
Ivory.
I know you've got a bit of a
I got
bit of yellow
Yellow
fever.
Coincidentally, I do date a lot of Asian guys, but I don't think it's because they're Asian. I think it's because white guys want to date Chinese girls, so I date Asian guys.
That's true.
So no, I date a lot of Eurasian guys.
Eurasian. And what's the
Eurasians
difference
are
between,
hot.
like, how is a Eurasian better? Eurasian.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't say the words, so I was really Eurasian.
Eurasian.
How, do you think they're better or worse?
So we have a friend who's a comedian, and he said that Eurasians are God's Photoshop because you can take two really unattractive people, one Asian and one white, and when they have a baby,
It will
they are
be beautiful.
bound to be good looking. I mean, seriously, it happens. I mean,
Really?
think of all our friends who'd be so ugly if they weren't Eurasian.
Oh, well, I don't know. Whatever. Goodness. Goodness.
Getting
I'm joking.
Did you hear that, Lucy Liu? Just insult. Is Lucy? I think Lucy Liu is half. Isn't
Yeah,
she?
she is.
She was in Kill Bill, I think.
And Maggie Q as well.
Maggie Q, is
She's
she?
half and half.
Oh, I don't know. Is she the one with the ears?
The
Is she
ears.
the one that it looks like this?
She's got freckles.
No, okay.
I think.
All right, I'm thinking of someone else.
I
Possibly
don't know.
Lucy Liu again.
Just and now the topic of the show is Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu, if you're listening to this,
We like Charlie's Angels.
I love Charlie's Angels.
do you?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a bit before your time.
No,
Before.
no.
But
I
no,
love
not
Charlie's
before
Angels.
Yeah, I was about to say I was,
No, I
was
love
born in
it.
the early 1900s.
Exactly. Except back then it
Looking
was
good for your
Charlatans
age, Cass.
Angels.
Thanks, man. Charlatans.
Cassie would have been perfect.
I would be perfect.
Cassie, you back in the 1900s, I don't think you would have survived though.
I-
Because
I'd
of course,
be- I-
dating
I'd been-
would have been very
Taboo.
exclusive.
Yeah, and it would be courting.
Courting.
You would have been like beheaded or something by now.
What?
I'd be tied to a
You'd
stake.
be shamed.
Yeah, I'd be shamed. I'd be,
Slut shamed.
from the Scarlet Letter.
Oh, you
I'd
get
have
a
an
letter
A.
A, except they'd have to change it to a C.
Yes.
C for creative.
Because I'm creative in the way that I sleep around.
Exactly. Well, give that a little bit of a poke.
Yeah.
Yes. But what I do find interesting though is that you find in Hong Kong a lot of I'm going to say it, really ugly Western men. Very old, very fat, very divorced.
One chai any night.
And they'll go to one chai and they will pick up the most beautiful female in the world.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think it's less common now, to be honest, that Asian girls are going for white guys, because it used to be like the whole colonialist thing, and they'd be like, oh yeah, like,
what, exotic?
Yeah. No, I mean, Asian girls would be like, oh, he can buy me stuff. But nowadays, it's the Asian guys making all the money.
My
like
goodness.
white guys are all like moving to Llama, like starting their own novel about, I'm not saying this from experience, but
I was going to say, have you had an experience with a guy on Llama right now?
A Llama novel writer.
I like llamas.
Oh,
yeah. I meant Llama the island.
No. Shh. She's having a moment. What do you like about them?
No, I don't actually like llamas. I just thought I'd put that input in there.
So you thought you liked llamas, and then you remembered what they were, and you decided, no, not for me.
Not for me.
Oh my God, I would love to spend a good half hour with you in a room and just a canvas and watch you paint your thoughts.
Well, didn't we just do that last
It's a
time?
llama. No, it's not. Be free.
Be free, Llama.
Be free.
They want to get me psychoanalyzed.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
big
think.
word.
Well, I think it's because we taught her the word psychoanalyze.
Oh, did
No.
Okay, we're getting off topic.
We're getting completely off topic.
Cassie, you haven't told me about any bad dates you've had.
You know, the thing is, I've actually, for someone who dates a lot online, I've had mostly really good experiences. But you probably can't see now, but I'm very tall.
Stand up and show me how tall you are.
I'm a giant.
Just give me a little.
Do a little
12. I'm really tall, so everyone knows.
You like went off the
Gentlemen.
screen.
Yeah, I did. I went off the screen. Gentlemen, if you have a giant fetish, call me. So basically, the only thing I have to do when I date online is that I always have to write, look, I'm 5'11", I'm pretty damn tall.
Does that get a positive response?
Sometimes this guy was like, I'd like to see where those legs end, and I was like, well.
You were like, well, they end at my hips.
Yeah. And in leg sockets. No, and I've had, and this guy was like, oh, I'm 5'8", is that okay? I'm like, no, that's not okay. Anyway,
okay.
so I this one time.
Apparently, I'm on a show with heightists.
Yeah.
Do they even exist?
5'8" boys just need to. Do you know what I call boys who are under 5'11"?
No.
Friends.
Oh.
So I went on this date, and yeah, so he showed up, and it's
So
Italian
he actually
guy.
showed up?
Yeah, he showed up, which is amazing. I was like, thank God, I've really got one. And so I show up, and he's about 5'3", and he goes, "You didn't say you were so tall in your profile." And I go, "You didn't say you were like a midget."
Was he actually midget height?
I quite expected him to take out a bag of tricks and blow some fire. I don't know, and like launch him at a target.
What sort of world do you live in? My goodness.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's where I got the idea from. He was really quite rude, actually.
Was he?
And then I was quite rude to him.
Where was this date? Where did that happen?
Carnegie's one time.
Why did you go to Carnegie?
Oh, okay. So for everyone back home who's listening who doesn't know what Carnegie's is, I want you to picture Hugh Hefner.
Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what Carnegie's is like. Sodom and Gomorrah from the Bible.
What?
Where like all the terrible stuff happens, all the sinning goes on.
Macau.
How do you not know Sodom and Gomorrah? Seriously.
We're not weird.
We're not regular Bible readers.
You're not? I'm so shocked.
Oh my God. No, Carnegie's is a
You went
place
to
of ill
Catholic school.
repute where
I'm
you
a
go
woman
pretty
of ill
much-
repute, though,
She is.
so.
It's where people like Cassie will hang out with your child. So be
You
warned.
used to hang out there
I did.
every night.
It's where I would get picked up by like a 60-year-old.
Oh yeah, hell
Oh,
yeah.
good. But as we were talking about before, you do like your older men.
Yeah.
That old?
Not that. I mean, you did almost go on a date with a 43-year-old the other day, and it was quite.
Yeah,
Goodness.
Let's not talk about that.
Well, what do you think is, because I feel like for me, I find it a bit weird when I see an older gentleman with a younger girl. How do you feel about?
weird.
But how do you feel about seeing perhaps an older Western gentleman with a gorgeous little Chinese girl? Do you think that's good?
No, I think it's terrible.
But
I feel like.
Do you think it leaves us with less Western men to choose
No,
from?
I think Western men. Not all Western men who date Asian girls, because I date Asian guys. I don't date them because they're Asian. I sort of feel like men who, like, I feel like you're digging a hole. I feel like men who say, oh, I only date Asian girls. They sort of fetishize what Asian women represent, them being submissive. And all of which most Asian girls aren't. The Asian girls we know, they're not gonna like wake you up with breakfast in bed.
No, they are sassy. Yeah. I don't think there's anything sassier. That's right.
Guys, we're all gonna try and do this and just look even more white than usual.
I just feel like I'm doing the doo-wop.
Okay, guys.
That's the Lauryn
Anyway.
Hill song. My favorite song. Doo-wop. It's like my favorite song.
It's good. She's contributing.
She's contributing.
Oh goodness.
What were we just talking about?
So, of course, what we're thinking about is
Asian girls.
Guys. I think Chinese girls are the most beautiful in the world.
I think that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're up there. They're up there. I mean,
Asian girls.
other than me.
They're skinny.
Well, of course, yeah. I think that.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I again, as long as it's not, they're not dating an Asian girl.
We can freeze the recording because we can cut this last bit out.
Yeah. Okay.
So of course, dating in Hong Kong is difficult, isn't it? Because I find that the people that come over here are, of course, almost like the leftovers of every other country. You know, they couldn't find anyone good back home, so they travelled here. And that's, of course, where we've all ended up.
Yeah, it is. Ooh. All came to Hong Kong, couldn't find a man. No.
Well, you guys are still single.
I think it's very difficult to date in Hong Kong because
it is.
We're a very materialistic society. You either got to have a lot of money or you need to be really hot. So I'm lucky, obviously.
Both is best.
Both is best.
Is there such a thing as both, though?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean...
What?
It's very
if you
rare.
say yourself.
Yes.
Don't do the hair thing.
I am doing the hair thing. Sorry.
None of that. None of that.
No, there are guys. I mean, again, I don't date for looks. I do. Yeah.
But how far along do you discover that the guy has a good personality? Because looks, you can decide. I read a statistic somewhere that you'll fall in love with someone, or you know if you'll like that someone, within 4 minutes of meeting.
Really?
I get that.
Yeah.
See, I was talking to Cassie the other day about this. I said, I have a type. Straight away, I'm like, I like him. He's my type.
Yeah.
Whereas you will be like, oh, I don't really like him.
I'll be like, oh my God, get him away from me. He's so annoying.
Then 2 weeks later, she's like, oh, but
I really
like him.
I really like him.
Cassie, maybe your type is persistence then.
Yeah, okay, I sort of feel like that. I really like it when guys are like obsessed with me. So I can complain about it all the time. So I go, oh my God, he's so annoying, right? Like, he's so in love with me.
It's so off-putting.
And then I'll be like, oh, we should go away. But secretly, I'm like, ah.
See, I like it when, like, I can usually get what I want. What? And when a guy says, like, no,
stomping a feet, asking daddy.
No.
I want a pony.
No.
I want another pony.
No.
I want a date. I want a red rose.
When guys say no to her, she tends to like them.
I like it. I like it when guys are like, no.
So essentially,
it's not rape if you yell surprise.
It's a little bit of a rapey situation.
It's not. I sound so
would a rape
bad.
from you be the slowest thing that would ever happen?
You're like,
I'm coming for you. Brace yourself.
Hey,
so
wait,
creepy.
I have a story.
Wait. This reminds me of a time. No.
Yeah, no. I mean, I like guys who really like me, and I like guys where I shared interest. Like, a most important thing in their lives is me. Because let's face it, like,
I am most important.
Funnily enough, I have the same interest with my boyfriends. I won't date them unless we both have a mutual agreement that Cassie is awesome. But
or that
that's why she's had such bad luck with her dating life.
Perry only dates guys that eat her goldfish.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, we need to hear
story.
this. This is a good first. Was it first date?
No. It was one of our.
Being a little naughty.
I beg your pardon. It's not your story. Don't you go? I was good. Okay. So my darling boyfriend and I once had a fight quite late, and I won't say that alcohol wasn't involved, but it was. And we were back at my apartment back home, and I had a pet goldfish, and this was one of those bauble-y black ones, and I called him Baubles, because obviously.
Because you're great at names.
Festivity. Anyway, so we'd gotten home, and we were standing in the kitchen, we were having a heated political discussion, and I looked over and noticed that unfortunately Baubles had gone to the great goldfish bowl in the sky. You know, Jesus was just feeding him and then overfeeding him and feeling bad because he just got resurrected. But the point is, I noticed that Baubles had left us, and I said, oh, look, I'm sorry, babe, my fishy. And of course, Seb, being a man, was filled with rage.
Rage.
He hulked out, stomped onto my goldfish bowl. And he took baubles, and it was one of those moments like, Charlie! And he put it in his mouth and he said, fuck your fish. And he ate my fish. And he goes, yeah. And walks off. And it was look, guys, I'm quite emotional about this, all right? I appreciate
when she told us the story, she was almost crying.
Look, poor Baubles.
R.I.P. Baubles.
You know the way they talk about how you'd rather be buried, cremated, or, like the Nepalese
Swallowed.
do, leave you on the top of a mountain for the crows to eat. Baubles was not. He went into a mixture of gin and tonic and whatever else was in Seb's stomach at that moment.
And protein shakes.
Protein shakes. Well, who knows? Baubles could have been faking it just to get closer to the party.
Gin and tonic.
Well,
so you've still got stories.
I do. Well, look, I think this is an interesting story that I'd like to bring up very briefly about a good friend of ours. She's not going to appreciate me using her name, so not A. Let's call her B.
Let's call her B.
B.
That's it.
So B was recently seeing a guy, and we'll call him J, because that's like his name.
BJ.
And it is. Do you know what that is?
A BJ?
I know what that is.
Good girl.
Should we do a demonstration?
Do you have a tissue?
I do have a tissue.
Oh, good, guys.
Anyway.
She gets startled by bright lights. I love you.
Shiny.
So our lovely friend B had a bit of a moment where she got emotional. And if I remember correctly, she broke into his apartment, sat on his couch in the dark, and ate a burrito. And she's still not quite sure why or how she got in, or where the burrito came from.
What a cat. I don't know. I don't think it was a burrito. I think it was a kebab.
Kebab.
Yeah,
I think it was a kebab.
burrito.
Oh my God.
Not a burrito. I think that's really
I'm
central
pretty
to the
sure.
story.
Isn't, no, a burrito is
B
similar
likes
to a
their
kebab.
kebabs.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
they're actually the same thing.
Like a taco
Yeah.
shell.
No, it's not a taco shell. Taco shells are hard.
I know,
Anyway,
but it's the same
Yeah,
thing.
but it's like
we strayed from our topic.
It's like that.
Oh, actually, no, burritos are different.
But
They're more like a...
if a man
Can you
ever...
please display for us, I know what a burrito looks like? Both hands, darling.
Both hands.
Both hands.
Up and down.
Firm grip.
Twisting motion.
None of that.
Okay, yeah, no, so I get freaked out. I don't know about you guys, but I don't find it sweet when guys show up at your house unannounced.
Oh, well, no, I think that's what we call stalking.
Yeah, well, if I'd walked into
Did he
my
get
living
pebbles
room...
and start hitting your window?
Oh gosh, I've
What are we,
I've
Romeo
had
and Juliet now?
Yeah, well, I've had 7-Eleven lurkers because I live opposite a 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven lurkers.
Yeah, I don't like to call them stalkers. I like to call them 7-Eleven lurkers.
Lurkers makes me think of like a swamp and having them just,
just like
sitting like that
No, yeah,
high up in the water.
Except for it's instead of a swamp, it's Tsingtao beer. Just like
Or just sweat.
yeah,
Perfume.
yeah, pretty much.
Interesting. See, what I find is the common denominator in all of our stories. We're all having serious trouble expressing ourselves, loving each other in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I feel like we're almost there with this whole Tinder thing.
Almost
But,
there.
I mean, I read an article the other day, and it was just this woman said she went on 100 dates. And
100 dates in 100 days.
yeah, and she didn't fall in
I
love
read
with
that.
any of them.
No.
And I can see that being. Maybe.
I'm going to disagree because in Hong Kong I don't think there's any more than 100 men.
Yeah, there's
Like,
just 100 men.
I think we've got like 99 at most.
Yeah,
And then that
99
number
men.
one is someone who's just come over from Thailand and is still like in the operation stage.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that counts or not.
Yeah.
I suppose you go reverse, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the story of the Tinder yesterday.
What Tinder yesterday?
Tinder.
Oh my gosh.
goodness.
Okay, so to wrap things up, because I don't think we have a lot more time.
Just before we begin, I'm just going to say, if you guys don't already hate us, we've just got a very brief story to wrap up this show.
Okay, so Tinder. We really love Tinder. We like when we start drinking. Perry likes to take my Tinder, and she likes to mess with guys.
I do.
And this guy was like, blah blah blah. She was like, I really want you. You've got to come over.
So
I need it
just
now,
pretty
I
much,
think I
we
said.
told a guy that we were a very enthusiastic person, and we gave him a random address out in Sheko.
And-
For those who aren't familiar with Hong Kong, Sheko is like
Miles.
Yeah, like throw a pebble and then have that pebble picked up by a jumbo jet and flown a couple of kilometres.
But anyway, he went there.
He actually went, and we gave him my other friend's phone number. So he was like, sorry, the guard's not letting me in.
And so the moral of the story pretty much is
Don't believe anything you
don't
read on the
believe
internet.
anything on Tinder.
Because it's probably us trying to trick you into going
Yeah.
somewhere really far.
Well,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we've wrapped up all we can say for you tonight. It's been absolutely spectacular on this couch with my two lovely ladies. Cassie, Iona,
Perry.
We've had such a good time, guys. Please, if you want to contact any of us, you will find Cassie on Tinder, Iona in Play School, and myself, of course, sitting at home eating Ben and Jerry's and crying.
Peace.
Peace. Woo!